Jeanine Pirro is one of those well-known figures who have proven that it's possible for one to get involved in different high-stake professions and still come out at the top. She was a lawyer and television personality, and also a strong voice in the political scene. Her busy lifestyle and personality appealed to many, earning her numerous accolades throughout her career. However, there was a side to Pirro that remained hidden from the public all along, revealing some of her most vulnerable moments and challenges. Join us as we bring to light some of the most touching aspects of Jeanine Pirro's life. Jeanine Pirro was born on June 2, 1951, in Elmira, New York, into a Lebanese heritage. She had been born of a model mother who worked in the department store and a father who was in the mobile home selling business. Pirro grew up in a middle-class home and was bred with a strong work ethic since childhood. Her parents instilled in her the serious significance of education and work as the two cornerstones. She was an intellectually articulate, brilliant student with a passion for leaving a mark in this world. Pirro attended Notre Dame High School in Elmira, where she performed brilliantly. She also served as the editor of her high school newspaper. By the time she reached the age of 6, Pirro knew that she wanted to be an attorney. This aspiration was supported by her family, though it was not considered a usual career aspiration for a woman at those particular times in history. After high school, Pirro headed to the university at Buffalo to obtain a Bachelor of Arts. She majored in political science, a great building block for her future in law. She went further for her J.D. at Albany Law School. While at Albany Law School, she graduated with distinction and was an avid editor in the Law Review, which developed her analytical and editing skills. Following graduation from law school in 1975, Pirro became an assistant district attorney for the state of New York, Westchester County. Pirro was set on making a difference and quickly proved to be a dedicated and effective prosecutor. At the Westchester DA's office, she carved out a niche in domestic violence, child abuse, and crimes against women. To Pirro, the commitment was deeply personal. She became one of the first prosecutors in New York to establish a domestic violence unit, calling for stiffer sentences for abusers and greater protection for victims. Her work soon propelled Pirro into the limelight. She was an outspoken advocate for women and children, and her success in the courtroom caught the attention of her superiors and the media. In 1991, Pirro was the first woman elected to the bench in Westchester County Court. Since Pirro took to the bench, her platform as a judge has always been one of zero tolerance to crime, with a primary commitment to public safety. She proved herself a no-nonsense judge, sending violent criminals away with particularly hard sentences without batting an eye. But Pirro's ambition did not end there. She won the office of District Attorney of Westchester County as the first woman to do so in 1993. As District Attorney, Pirro continued an aggressive campaign on behalf of victims of domestic violence and child abuse, adding resources to her office to address those particular issues. She also formed one of the first domestic violence and child abuse bureaus in the nation and made Westchester County a model on how to handle those types of cases. Pirro also did not fail to leave her fingerprint on white-collar crime and organized crime. Her office was central in the investigation of a spate of high-profile cases, among them those relating to public corruption. Altogether, these helped seal her reputation as a DA who knew how to get things done. The New York Post included Pirro in its list of the 50 most powerful women in New York. Probably the best-known case during Pirro's tenure as DA was the murder trial of Robert Durst. Being a real estate heir and son of a wealthy New York City real estate mogul, Durst had been accused of murdering his longtime friend Susan Berman way back in 2000. Though Durst ran and was able to evade capture for a little while, Pirro's relentless pursuit of justice in the matter brought high media attention and raised her national profile. Pirro's tenure as district attorney paved the way for her transition to television. Following her unsuccessful run in 2006 for New York Attorney General, Pirro resigned and remained in the public eye through frequent appearances on news shows as a legal analyst and commentator. Outspoken, Pirro never held back on an opinion, particularly about the hot topics of the day, which made her a frequent guest on cable news, particularly Fox News. Beginning in 2008, she hosted a television court show called Judge Jeanine Pirro that aired until 2011 and earned her a Daytime Emmy Award. Eventually, Pirro was given a full-time slot with Fox News as a legal analyst with her own show called Justice with Judge Jeanine. The show covered both legal and political topics, and Pirro became popular for her hot monologues and straightforward style. The show lasted well over 10 years and extended her position as a TV personality. Throughout her career in television, Pirro has reported on various scandals of both legal and political nature, from high-profile criminal trials and national security matters to the political scandals themselves. A background in law established credibility with her commentary, while her no-nonsense style brought in a large audience. She was one of the few trendsetters in law, and besides that, one of those at the forefront of fighting domestic violence and child abuse. Her foray into television gave her even wider exposure, whereby she was able to impart legal insights to people and push causes she believed in. The fact that her legal portfolio involves high-profile cases such as the investigation into Robert Durst has been one of the most thrilling tenures into her legal career, and it typified exactly how dogged and professional she has been in pursuit of justice. Jeanine Pirro has remained a voice in the media today, known for her keen legal mind and for tackling complex issues with conviction. Up to date, her life has remained an example to many female lawyers starting their careers who dream of making a difference through public services and media. Jeanine Pirro's life has been an exemplary journey to success, however. It is not without its share of obstacles. With a string of accomplishments in both law and television, Pirro has nonetheless faced serious personal challenges, such as a fight against cancer and problems with her then-husband, Albert Pirro. The relationship between the two was enveloped in controversy and legal issues, which finally ended their marriage of over 3 decades. In 2018, Pirro made her battle with cancer public in a book titled Liars, Leakers, and Liberals: The Case Against the Anti-Trump Conspiracy. Pirro shared that she had leukemia, a kind of cancer that attacks the blood and bone marrow. She had been keeping it secret for a very, very long period of time. She explained it was an overwhelming challenge, one which tried her strength and tested her resolve. For Pirro, cancer has been a battle of treatment and trips to the hospital. Nevertheless, she decided to keep this news to herself so as to maintain an image of being a tough public figure and fierce advocate. She was thankful for her family and friends for their support, and in addition, she learned to appreciate the little things in life. Only a few were shocked among her followers and fans, since they viewed Pirro as one of the fighters and survivors of life's battles. In the case of Pirro, her fight with cancer emerged as one of the big milestones in her life that defined her as resilient and strong in the face of difficulties. However, the issues she had were compounded by the challenges she faced in her marriage. Jeanine Pirro married Albert Pirro, a successful real estate lawyer, in 1975. From all appearances, theirs was to be a marriage between two influential partners, each enjoying phenomenal success in their own respective careers. Over time, their marriage would be beset on every side by a number of challenges, most of which were known to the public. The two began to have troubles in their marriage during the 1990s, as Albert began to get himself embroiled in controversies that ultimately strained the marriage and subsequently affected Jeanine in the public eye. One of these major scandals pertained to Albert's legal problems with the IRS. In 2000, he was convicted of tax evasion after it was discovered that he had improperly deducted more than $1.2 million in personal expenses as business expenses over the course of a decade. These included vacations and gifts of an expensive nature. The case was highly publicized, with Albert receiving 29 months in federal prison. At the time, Jeanine was serving as the district attorney of Westchester County and publicly stood by him, although privately she must have faced a lot of scrutiny and judgment. The tax evasion scandal was not the only blow the marriage had to endure. Albert's affairs had long been an open secret, and in 2011 it came to the forefront that he had fathered a child outside of their marriage. Jeanine had known of the affair, but when this hit the public domain, it further strained their fragile relationship. She found herself grappling with the betrayal and humiliation of Albert's actions while trying to keep her family intact. However, Albert was again caught in another case of overspeeding, which endangered the lives of other road users. He accepted his faults after the incident and pledged never to do that again. However, still entitled, he acted as if the plethora of legal problems that he had brought into their lives was all right with the world, and did little to ease the tension between him and Jeanine. Well, things came to a head when Jeanine confronted Albert about what he was doing to himself and the family. Their arguments became more frequent and more intense, and it was then clear that their marriage was coming apart. For Jeanine, Albert's infidelity was the worst to bear. She had made a brilliant career as a public figure, but her personal life wasn't going as great as she would have wanted. Besides the personal hurt, the affair also had public repercussions as it questioned her judgment and credibility. Jeanine's friends and colleagues knew the way the scandal was affecting her, and many were surprised that she continued to stand by Albert after everything. However, Jeanine chose to keep her family together for the sake of their children and was hoping they could pull through it. By the mid-2000s, the Pirros' marriage was hanging on by a thread. Jeanine had attempted to salvage her marriage to Albert against all obstacles, yet the weight of his scandals and their unresolved issues finally caught up. Years of public humiliation and personal heartache were weighing on her, and she decided that enough was enough. In 2007, Jeanine filed for divorce, thus ending the marriage after 32 years. It was not an easy decision for Jeanine to get divorced. She had given up quite so much of her life with the divorce, however. She knew it was not healthy to stay in the marriage any longer, and her well-being must come first. This divorce was finalized in 2013, and from the tussle, Jeanine emerged afresh with a new purpose and determination. The divorce marked a turning point in Jeanine's life. Having been through many personal and professional challenges, she emerged much stronger and more resilient. She went on to build her career in television, building radio shows, and a career as an active commentator and host. Her experiences in life molded her into one sensitive and empathetic woman who never hesitated to speak for issues close to her heart. After her divorce from Albert Pirro, Jeanine Pirro has continued to build her public persona, stepping further into the political limelight and continuing to develop her reputation as a vocal conservative commentator. With her hot takes and strong support for former President Donald Trump, Pirro has become one of the most outspoken voices in right-wing media, going at the left with everything she has got. She has not been apologetic in her advocacy and has been caught in some controversies herself. Jeanine Pirro has been, during and after his presidency, an avid supporter of Donald Trump. He was praised for his policies, more so for his immigration stance, economic reform, and law enforcement. Pirro has referred to Trump as a patriot whom she said has been persecuted by both the media and political establishment. On her show, Justice with Judge Jeanine, support for Trump is front and center as she continually came to his defense, ranting against the investigations that involved Trump, including those from Mueller and his 2 impeachments. Pirro's open support for Trump resonated deeply with his base, and she still has a niche following among conservative viewers. She positioned Trump as a defender of American values and, more often than not, in her own way, pushed the message across that his policies benefit the working-class citizenry of the country. Her impassioned rhetoric made her a polarizing figure, yet she never shied from saying her mind, though most times she ended up coming under attacks. Pirro has perhaps gained the most notoriety for her strong critiques of left-wing politics. She blasts the likes of former President Barack Obama, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, and Senators Bernie Sanders and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez on a regular basis, citing that she sees their policies as undermining American values. Indeed, Pirro has argued time and again that progressive policies threaten freedom and foster divisive ideologies. Her show has taken on hot issues of immigration, gun control, and health care, all framed in the context of a cultural and political tug-of-war between conservatives and liberals. Though those opinions have aligned her with a core conservative base, they have also garnered her their fair share of criticism. Undeterred, Pirro has dug her heels into many of her positions, at times repeating her arguments with even more vehemence rather than backpedaling from them. Aside from political commentary, Jeanine Pirro has sometimes found herself embroiled in controversies. An example was the heated encounter that she had with the adult film actress Stormy Daniels, who claimed she had an affair with Donald Trump. Capitalizing on Stormy Daniels' past, Jeannie had said so many unpleasant things to Stormy, which didn't sit well with the public, since the whole encounter was recorded and shared on social media. Pirro, a vocal supporter of President Trump, had commented on the controversy that Daniels was a con artist and lacked credibility for her claim. She has also said that she thinks Daniels uses the claim as a way to be famous and make money off it, and that the media shouldn't be paying attention. Comments from Pirro enraged many. Several took to social media and accused Pirro of attempting to discredit Daniels without evidence. But it really came to a head when claims came out that Daniels had been threatened and intimidated due to her claims. The aftermath of the public uproar led Pirro to issue an on-air apology, wherein she said that her remarks about Daniels were not appropriate and that she was sorry she spoke about her too strongly. Pirro didn't go so far as to take back what she had said, but her apology was a rare moment of concession for the typically combative host. But the scandal with Stormy Daniels underlined how Pirro was willing to risk it all for Trump no matter what. Yet it also showed how she knew when she had crossed the line. The incident showed how far Jeanine was willing to go for what she believed in, and also showed that she was willing to backtrack whenever she was wrong. Notwithstanding scandals, Jeanine Pirro has been a Fox News staple with her wildly popular show Justice with Judge Jeanine, regularly reaching high ratings, and she is undeniably a staple in conservative media. In addition to her on-screen presence, Pirro has also been a frequent speaker at conservative conventions and rallies, hitting the stage repeatedly to address the Second Amendment, border security, and other pressing issues. The years since the divorce from Albert have been a liberation for Pirro with regard to her career, where she leaves absolutely nothing unsaid in voicing her opinions and engaging in political debate. She has risen to be a dominant voice within the conservative movement. Since the divorce from Albert, Jeanine Pirro has reinvented herself and battled a few trials, both in her personal and professional life. She has remained highly visible, taken on personal and professional challenges, and continued to be triumphant. Her strong support for Trump and loud denunciations of the left solidified her as a political figure across America, an attribute that has earned her recognition as well as criticism. In the ever-evolving media focused on the latest political trends, Pirro has been able to carve out for herself a niche as a strong conservative voice, unafraid to take on hard subjects and to speak her mind. Over the years, she has earned numerous awards and recognitions for her contributions and place in society, making sure her name won't be forgotten soon. What do you really think about the person of Jeanine Pirro and the role you have seen her play over the years? Do let us know in the comments, and we will see you in the next video.